Okay, welcome to today's review of the True Potential portfolios. My name is Chris Leyland. I'm the Deputy Chief Investment Officer here at True Potential, and I'm going to spend the next few minutes talking about our flagship investment product, that is the True Potential portfolio range. Okay, so first let's start by discussing the performance of the portfolios. What we'll then do is look at what are the key themes we're seeing from our fund manager partners, and finally discuss what changes have been made over the month. Okay, so let's look at the month of November. The portfolios produced quite mixed returns, with defensive performing very well, although the income portfolios lost a little bit of ground, with the more UK-focused True Potential Threadneedle Monthly Income Fund underperforming the other funds which have more of a global reach within the True Potential fund range. Looking longer term, year to date, figures are excellent, with investors being rewarded for taking on additional risk. Moving on to the performance of the underlying funds that make up the portfolios, the True Potential UBS fund ranges perform well, with their value-based style and ability to find returns that are less correlated to equity markets, helping to drive performance. The True Potential SCI fund range also produced some solid numbers, with their fund manager selection benefiting from taking a broadly diversified approach and gaining positive returns from their alternative exposures. Looking at the key themes we're seeing when we speak to our manager partners, our managers have remained positive on the economic outlook. They feel that economic growth has become increasingly synchronized across OECD countries, and corporate profits are both healthy and in many instances actually ahead of investor expectations. Okay, so moving on to what changes we've made over the month. We've made changes to 4 of our portfolios: Cautious, Growth, Balance Plus and Growth Plus. Within Cautious, we've reduced the position in the True Potential Allianz Cautious Fund, taking the view that the fund has the largest exposure to non-sterling currencies and negative should we see sterling strengthen, and also risk levels have been creeping up within the fund. We've increased the weightings to the True Potential Close Brothers Cautious Fund and also to the True Potential UBS Cautious Fund. Close Brothers have a half hedging policy to help mitigate currency risk, and their stock picking ability should work well as we move through the market cycle. For UBS, they have an ability to access returns that are not necessarily correlated to equity markets through their currency strategy, and also their strategic holding of value-orientated products. Within Growth, the True Potential 7IM Growth Fund has been reduced, taking the view that the manager's been overly focused on geopolitical risk and has been excessively cautious in what is a higher risk fund. The True Potential Close Growth and True Potential UBS funds were increased as per the rationale before. For Balance Plus, a new holding in the True Potential SCI Defensive Fund was introduced, with the holdings in the True Potential SCI Cautious and True Potential Allianz Growth funds reduced to bring down the overall risk of the portfolio and to bring it in line with the balanced categorization. Lastly, for Growth Plus, we've added to the holding in the True Potential Close Balance Fund and reduced exposure to the True Potential 7IM Aggressive Fund. Around this time of year, it's very much a time to take stock and review what's happened over the year, but also to look forward to next year. For 2018, we do not know with certainty what will happen, but what we do know is that diversification will continue to mitigate risk. By using the True Potential portfolios, you can access a new high level of diversification around fund manager style, a way to spread risk even further, something that we call advanced diversification. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for your support in 2017 and wish you an enjoyable festive period and a prosperous new year. Thank you very much for listening today, and I will speak to you next time. Thank you.